So I will now discuss the conic section of parabola. So what is parabola? A parabola is a set of all coplanar points that are equidistant from a fixed line and a fixed point. The fixed line is called the directrix and the fixed point is called the focus. The point in the parabola which is halfway from the focus and directrix is called the vertex of the parabola. And the line through the vertex and the focus which divide into two equal halves is called axis of parabola or axis of symmetry. And the latus rectum is the chord that passes through the focus and perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So we have here an example of a parabola. So this is how the parabola looks like when we graph it. As you can see in the graph, there are labeled points and lines. So as what I've said a while ago, that a parabola is coplanar points equidistant from a fixed line to a fixed point. So the fixed line is called the directrix. So this is the fixed line. This is the fixed line. And the fixed point is the focus. So as you can see, the graph of the parabola is in between the fixed line which is directrix and the fixed point is called focus. So here, it is between the focus and the directrix. So this line which divides the graph into two equal halves is called axis of symmetry or axis of a parabola. So the axis of parabola is not just in vertical form or in parallel to x-axis, but it can also be in horizontal form or in y-axis. So if that will happen, the graph of the parabola might face on the right or on the left. So this point, which is halfway from the focus and the directrix is the vertex. So it means that the value of vertex to focus is just the same from the value of vertex to the directrix. And this line, this orange line, which passes through the focus is called the latus rectum. So now we'll discuss the parabola with vertex at h and k. So the standard form of the equation of a parabola with vertex at h and k and focus quantity of h plus a and k. So this parabola has an equation of quantity of y minus k squared is equal to 4a times quantity of x minus h and has a directrix of x is equal to h minus a and the focus of quantity of h plus a and k. Latus rectum is quantity of h plus a, k plus 2a, and quantity of h plus a, k minus 2a. And its axis of symmetry is y is equal to k and its concavity is open to the open to the right. So this is how the graph of the equation yk squared is equal to 4a times x minus h looks like. So when a is greater than 0, so it's a, it's not p. It can be p, but I will just use a, so it's a. So when a is greater than 0, it means that the concavity of the parabola is open to the right. In this graph, the point which is labeled by h and k is the vertex. And this point is the focus, which has h plus a and k. And this line is the directrix, which has an equation of x is equal to h minus a. And from this point to this point, which is passes through the focus, is the end of latus rectum. So next is the standard form of the equation of a parabola with vertex at h and k and focus quantity of h minus a and k, and has an equation of quantity of y minus k squared is equal to negative 4a times the quantity of x minus h, and has a directrix of x is equal to h plus a and a focus of quantity of h minus a and k. Latus rectum is quantity of h minus a, k plus 2a, and the quantity of h minus a, k minus 2a. And its axis of symmetry is y minus k, and its concavity is open to the left. So this is the graph of y minus k squared is equals to negative 4a times x minus h, where a is less than 0. That is why it opens to the left. This is the equation of this parabola. So next is the standard form of the equation of a parabola with vertex at h and k and focus quantity of h, k plus a, and has the equation of quantity of x minus h squared is equal to 4a times the quantity of y minus k, and has a directrix of y is equal to k minus a focus of quantity of h, k plus a, and the latus rectum of quantity of h minus 2a and k plus a, h plus 2a, k minus a. And its axis of symmetry is x is equal to h, and its concavity is open upward. So the graph is an equation of x minus a squared is equal to 4a times y minus k, which has its a is greater than 0. But unlike from the first two equations, the axis of symmetry of this equation is on y-axis. So as you can see, it is on vertical y-axis. That's why the graph opens upward. And the last one is the standard form of the equation of a parabola with vertex at h and k and focus quantity of h, k minus a. This parabola has an equation of x minus h squared is equal to negative 4 times a times the quantity of y minus k, and has a directrix of y is equal to k plus a, focus of quantity of h and k minus a. Its latus rectum is at the h minus 2a, k minus a, and h plus 2a, k minus a. Its axis of symmetry is x is equal to h, and its concavity is open downward. So this is the graph of the equation x minus h squared is equal to negative 4a times y minus k. But the value of a is less than 0 and has an axis of symmetry which is on the y-axis, same as on the third equation. But then it's because the value of a is less than 0. That's why the graph of this equation is opens downward. So we have here an example. Graph x squared minus 8x minus 28y is equal to 208 equals 0. Identify and label the vertex, axis of symmetry, focus, directrix, and endpoint of the latus rectums. So, to graph the given equation, we start from writing this equation in standard form. So the standard form that applies to the given equation is x minus h squared is equal to 4a times y minus k. Thus, the axis of symmetry is parallel to the y-axis. So to express the equation of the parabola in this form, we begin by isolating the term that contains the variable x in order to complete the square. So it will become this. We isolate x from other. After this, we do squaring methods. But this equation is not perfect. So to know what value we're going to add in this equation to make it perfect square, we will divide 8. We'll divide 8 by 2. So it's equal to 4. And then squared 4. So we will add 16 to both sides. So it will become this. So now, it is easy for us to factor out this equation. After that, just simply factor out the other side. So we will just factor out x squared minus 8x plus 16. So it will become this. So the factor out of x squared minus 8x plus 16 is quantity of x minus 4 squared. This one will just add 208 plus 16 and copy 28y, so it will become this. After that, just factor out 28y plus 222, so it will become 28 times y plus 8. So we have now our standard form of equation. So to find the value of a, just simply divide 28. So the value of a is 4a is equal to 28. So to find the value of a, we just simply divide 28. Will become this. So 28 divide 4 is equal to 7. So we have now the value of a, which is 7. So here. So our value of a is 7, which means that the graph opens upward because a is greater than 0. Let us now find the value of vertex. So the value of our vertex is 4 and negative a, as what you see in the equation. So this is the value of h, 4, and the value of k, which is negative 8. The axis of symmetry is x is equal to h, which is 4. So the value of h is 4. So here. And the focus, which is h and k plus a. So the value of h is 4. Obviously, that's k plus a. The value of k is negative 8 plus the value of a, which is 7, so is equal to negative 1. So that's why our focus is 4 and negative 1. And its equation of directrix is y is equal to k minus a, which is equal to negative 15. And our end point of latus rectum is h positive negative 2a and k plus a. So our end of latus rectum is negative 10 and negative 1, 18 and negative 1. So this is how the graph of our example looks like. So this is it's a graph. It's labeled graph. So another example. Given the vertex at negative 3, 1, and focus negative 7 and 1, find the equation of the parabola and vertex and sketch the graph. So the standard form that applies to this is y minus k squared is equal to 4a times x minus h, since the value of a is less than 0. So in order for us to identify the value of a, we just need to use the given coordinate. So we just need to subtract negative 7 minus negative 3. So it will come up to negative 4. So this is now the value of our a, which means that our a is less than 0. So it less than 0. Thus, the axis of symmetry is parallel to x-axis. So in finding the equation, we begin by substituting the value of vertex. So we will begin by substituting the value of vertex to its corresponding, so it will become this. We already know the value of a, so all we need to do is substitute the value of a, which is negative 4. So this is the value of a, which is negative 4. So it will come as in this equation. To substitute the value of a, so this is the a, negative 4, will become this. We will now multiply the equation. To find out, we just simply multiply y minus 1 times y minus 1, and will come up to y squared is equal to 2y plus 1. So this is the result of this equation. After that, just multiply the other side. So 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Then copy the remaining, so will become this. And then multiply negative 16 to x plus 3. So the equation will become this form. After that, we now arrange the equation based on its general second degree form, which is ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f. So we'll now identify the equation of parabola, which is y squared plus 16x minus 2y is equal to 47 minus 47 is equal to 0. This is now the equation of our parabola. So to find the value of our directrix, we will use x minus is equal to h minus a. So just substitute the value of h and k. Negative 3 minus negative 4, so we will come up to x is equal to 1. So this is now the equation of our directrix. And the graph of our equation looks like this. So this is now the graph of our equation. Okay, so now let's move on to parabola with vertex at 0, 0. So if a is greater than 0, the coordinates of any points in the parabola is positive real numbers or 0, the parabola opens to the right. So this parabola has an equation of y squared is equal to 4ax and has a directrix of x is equal to negative a. Focus is a and 0. Latus rectum is quantity of a, 2a, and a negative 2a. Axis of symmetry is y is equal to 0, and its concavity is opens to the right. So this is now the graph of a first equation So as you can see, the vertex of this parabola is here because this equation is on the center. So when we say, at the origin, so when we say the origin, it means that its vertex is at 0, 0. So when A is greater than 0, so focus on positive x-axis. So as you can see, this is the x-axis, this is the focus, so this is its focus. So when A is greater than 0, so its focus is on the x-axis. Next is the A is less than 0, the coordinates of any points in the parabola is a negative real numbers or 0. So the parabola opens to the left. This parabola has an equation of y squared is equal to negative 4ax. The directrix is x is equal to negative a. Focus is negative a and 0. Latus rectum is quantity of negative a and 2a. Negative a and negative 2a, and its axis of symmetry is y is equal to 0, and it's open to the left. So unlike from the first one, the value of a is less than 0, so it means that the focus is on negative x-axis. So this is the focus. So as you can see, the focus is this side, which is negative x-axis, and same as the first one, its vertex is on 0, 0 because it is at the origin. So if A is greater than 0, the x-coordinate of any points in the parabola may have any negative value or 0. Only the parabola opens downwards. So the equation of this parabola is x squared is equal to negative 4ay. Its directrix is y is equal to a. Focus is quantity of 0 and negative a. Latus rectum is quantity of negative 2a and 2a and negative a. Axis of symmetry is x equal to 0, and its concavity is open downward. So as you can see, when a is greater than 0, the focus is on negative x-axis. So this is the focus. So as you can see, it lies on the y on negative y-axis. So here. So last one is if a is greater than 0, the coordinates of any point in the parabola is positive value or 0. The parabola opens upward. So the equation of this is x squared is equal to 4ay and has a directrix of y is equal to negative a. The focus is 0 and a. Latus rectum is negative 2a, 2a and a. Axis of symmetry is x equals to 0 and its concavity opens upward. So this is the graph of the equation looks like. So when a is greater than 0, the focus is in positive y-axis. So as you can see, this is the focus. It lies on positive y-axis. So that's it. So we have here an example of So number 1, the graph y squared is equal to 24x. Identify and label the focus, directrix, and endpoint of latus rectum. So solution. So the standard form that applies to the given equation is y squared is equal to 4ax. So thus, the axis of symmetry is on the x-axis. So to find the value of A, we just simply divide 24. So this is, so 4A is equal to 24 because this value of 24 is just the same with this equation. So 4A, that's why 4A is equal to 24. To find the value of A, just divide both sides by 4. So we become up to the value of A, which is equal to 6. So this, our value of A is 6. So to find now the value of focus, so we can now easily identify the coordinates of our focus. So our focus is 6 and 0, 6, and the equation of the directrix is x is equal to -6. The endpoint of latus rectum is 6 and 12, 6 and -12, because 6A is equal to 6 plus, 6 times 2, which is this, this is equal to 12, so it's positive -12. That's why we come up to this points of a latus rectum. And the graph of this equation is just this. So this. So second example is find the equation of the parabola having its vertex at the origin and passing through the points 5, 2 and -5, 2. So the standard equation that applies to the points given is x squared is equal to 4ay, which has an axis of symmetry parallel to y-axis. So in finding the equation, we begin by getting the value of A. So in order to find the value of A, we just substitute the given points to x and y. You can use either these 2 points. So the 5 here is the x and the 2 is the value of y-axis. So neither these two you can use it. So we just substitute the value of 5, so it will become 5 squared, and the value of 2 will just simply substitute in the y, so it will become this. So just do some mathematical steps. So 5 squared is equal to 25 is equal to 4 times 2 is 8. So we come up with this equation. And to find the value of A, we just divide 8, also 8 the other side. So our A now is 25 over 8. So this is now the value of, so our A is 25 over 8. It's now the value. So to find the equation, we still need to use this equation. X squared is equal to 4ay. By substituting the value of A, so we have the value of A, this is the value of A, 25 over 8. We just need to substitute this value to its corresponding. So x squared is equal to 4 times 25 over 8y. So it looks like this. After that, just multiply 4 times 25 over 8. So our equation of parabola we're finding is x squared is equal to 25 over 2y. So this is now the equation of a parabola, which is having a vertex at the origin and passing through the points 5, 2, and negative 5 and 2. So, thank you.